We have joining us Robert Smith from the Orion Veterans Memorial and Steve Hawkswell from the American Legion Post, number 223. Welcome.
233.
Oh, 233. Sorry about that. Welcome, gentlemen.
It's Bob, not Robert.
Bob, I'm sorry.
Bob and Steve, yeah, thanks for being here.
Yeah.
It is a big holiday weekend. It's one of those important weekends that you guys look forward to for certain reasons, very humble reasons.
Yes. In fact, Steve and I were sitting there talking just before we come in here about how it's such a somber occasion, and people have made it like any other holiday now, like 4th of July and Christmas almost, you know. You see Gardner White, Memorial Day sale starts 2 weeks ago, you know, and stuff like that. And it bothers people like us that actually went in and fought. And, you know, we lost a lot of brothers and sisters, and that's why we're there that day too.
So the commercialization of it,
Right.
Yeah.
is frustrating. Is there a balance between the commercialization and having it out there enough for people to remember? Because if we didn't mention it at all, then people would forget what these important dates are for.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do we make it rememberable for the right reasons?
I don't know if there's a balance, but like I ask people when I go and speak at these places is just give us an hour. Come out, give us a couple of hours in the morning, you know, before you go to your picnics or your shopping and stuff like that. Because without these men and women who sacrificed their lives, you wouldn't even be able to do it, because this wouldn't be a free country like it is. So
That's for sure.
Right. Yep. Absolutely. I know my dad served in the Navy, and he not only will we get together as family, just, you know, to spend time together, but I know he gets together with his everybody that he served with, those that are left. They get together annually and you know, share stories and remember, and so it's definitely a good
My
time.
father was over in Belgium. He was a POW from the Battle of Bulge.
Oh wow.
And I had two uncles from Lake Orion in there, and I was going to college, and then I said, you know what, Vietnam was on, and a lot of my friends were there, and I was working at the old A&P store in Lake Orion. I said, I'm going to go, and so my dad was just telling Bob, I said, Dad, I want to go in the military for you guys, okay? And he said, well, sit down. This is funny. He said, you're not going to go in the Army. You're not going to go in the Marines. And I said, okay. Do I want to get shot out of the sky, or do I want to drown? So I said, well, I'd rather just. So I ended up in the Air Force.
Okay.
And it was fun. And we were just talking about how and getting back to us, it was great. And I told him I would do it. I'll tell you, folks, if they came right now, I'd go right back and do it again.
Yeah.
And that's what. That's why when we just talked about going down, get your mattresses or have your car. Sometimes it bothers me that but it's going to happen. It certainly is going to happen. They're going to do that because they want to be on TV or on the radio or whatever it is. But
well, to give some of these entities a bit of a break, they have a sale every weekend. So they have to call it something new every year. So I don't get too hung up on that, but I can understand the frustration. So how should people be respecting these holidays?
I think going to, parades and different things, and what we're going to have for our ceremonies out at the cemetery here, and then down at this children's park, and the wreaths that we have, and the wreaths out there. We have a wreath at the cemetery for all the plots, and then we come back at 9 o'clock, and then 10 o'clock we come down to Children's Park, and the auxiliary, the women's auxiliary, have a wreath that they throw into the creek for the Navy and the other folks.
Okay.
So that's good, and it's nice to see the folks that come down and just listen to what we have to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we have prayers and we have all the things, and it's for those folks that gave their lives.
Right.
And that's exactly what it is. And if people would take, just like he said, take some time and come in and see what's going on, and it's just,
Yeah, we don't expect you to be there all day or give up your picnics and stuff like that. Just, to try to get there. And like our event starts at 1 o'clock at the Orion Veterans Memorial, and it lasts about an hour. We have guest speakers, and we're paying honor to those that, especially in Lake Orion area, that we have monuments there with everybody's name from Civil War on up till now that have lost their lives, and so we pay honor to them and so forth.
So Bob, you're with the Orion Veterans Memorial.
Correct.
Your event is at 9 a.m.
No.
no, that's us. That's the American Legion.
Well, there's two at 9, isn't there?
Oh, we've also got a run at 9 o'clock, 5K run.
You've got okay, that's what I'm looking at here. You've got the Memorial Run at 9 a.m. and then later at 1, you have the ceremony.
Correct.
Okay. And Steve, you have a 9 a.m.
9 and 10.
And also at 11 is the parade.
11 is the parade, and then I go down, as with Bob, and I go down and give the deceased from our post. And what goes on down there is the most wonderful memorial service.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely. I want to cry sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because of what it's for, what it stands for.
Right.
Now, for us who have not served, and my dad served in the Navy as well, so there's a connection, but we haven't served like that. We certainly haven't seen what you have seen. What's the difference for us? What should we take away from an event like that to someone like you who lived it? Because there's something that you take away, too, from being there.
I really can't answer that. I'm just happy. I'm very, very happy, and I'm happy that people come and find out what we have, because there's a guest speaker always, and they tell their stories, and people, they take a look at it. They're very quiet, and they get a chance to hear what has gone on and what we did. And I was up in Grand Forks, North Dakota for 4 years. Of course, living in Lake Orion, the sunshine and all that. Let's go up there. But it was good. It was just, like I said, I would do it again. And people like yourselves, you don't know exactly how much it can. When you put the uniform on and you grow up from being 19 years old to 25 years old, and it just happens that way. And you folks don't get a chance to do that.
Right.
It's really kind of neat, really, really, really nice.
Well, thankfully, we don't get a chance to do that because you guys
exactly.
did a lot of that hard work, and that's what makes
You bet.
Your groups of people so special, because you would sign up again if the call came in.
Sure.
And Memorial Day reflects back on all of the wars that we were in.
Yeah.
But you ask what you could take away from it. It's basically what's happened lately. And the reason I say that is when we were in Vietnam, we come home, we were shunned. We were shunned by everybody. And it's just been last 20 years or so that people have, opened up and accepted what we did. It may not have been a world war, but it could have moved into something different,
Right.
So just the fact that you appreciate what we've done in that is what we're asking for, and
Yeah. 'Cause
but what we're sitting here today, and there's thousands and thousands of people that aren't because they didn't make it, but they would have, like Steve says, him and I, we go back, if they walked through that door right now and said, come on, we need you, we would go again.
Right.
A little bit slower, but we would go again. But, those people, they can't anymore. So that's the big sacrifice. And all my life, I've always believed in three things, and that's God, God, family, and country, in that order.
Amen.
And that is the main thing.
Yep.
I wear it on my shoulder. I've got a tattoo that says that, because that is what it's all about. I don't care who your God is, as long as you believe but family's second and country's third.
Yeah.
You know, look at what happened. Even today, over in the Middle East and everything, people are fighting all the time and stuff like that. They have no sense of freedom to just do what they want during the day. They got to look around every corner and everything. Here in the United States, I know it sounds bad at times when we have violence here and everything, but still the vast majority of the people can do what they want, when they want, go out when they want, and it's all because of the sacrifice of the men and women that have give the ultimate sacrifice.
Right. Yes, and you mentioned, you know, not being appreciated, or even more so, like being shunned when you came back, and it's kind of interesting to me that that people would do that, especially when you were over there. You know, you're giving the ultimate sacrifice for all of us that are here, so that we can have freedom of speech and to speak our mind, but to put that on the people who are actually defending it for us. That,
You know, I take it this way. I'm blessed that I live in the United States of America.
yeah,
I'm blessed that I was able to go and do that. And it's sad sometimes
yeah,
that all the folks that passed away. But as I say, we're blessed in
Yeah.
the United States.
yeah,
And and you look at it, and he just we're right. We have a chance to do whatever we want to do.
yeah,
Not everything, but it's things that,
I mean, something as simple as this TV interview.
yes.
Some countries that have to go through the government to do it.
right,
And we're here to be able to speak our minds today and what we believe in.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, we appreciate what you've done, and we appreciate you being here to remind folks. What do you want to say about getting people out to your events?
I'll let Steve go first because he's the early guy.
This is the American Legion. We are having presents its first annual Cornhole Challenge and membership drive.
Okay.
Post 233 invites you to join us for a fun day filled with cornhole, music, food, and raffles to benefit our veterans and their families. It's going to take care at Saturday, June 9th. Check-in team 11 o'clock, bracket play 12. But anyway, it's only $25, and we're trying to get some more members, the youngsters. But you know, it took me 16 years after
Yeah.
I got out of the service to go there, because I was young, and I was raising a family, and I was working and all that. And I understand these kids coming back from Afghanistan and all the places. But and if people know that we're here,
Right.
that they're welcome to come and see us.
Yeah. Come.
I'll tell you what, we're good.
Yeah.
We're really, really good. We take care of our community. Our
Yes.
veterans and our community is what we do. And we're pretty doggone good at it.
Yep. So you're having kind of an open house, you said, and
Yeah.
cornhole tournament for
Yeah,
those
yeah.
who have served that want to come and check it out.
Come
and,
on.
All right. Who doesn't like to
Absolutely.
play cornhole, right?
You're welcome. Yeah,
It's a great way to socialize
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and get to know each other. So,
Yeah,
and you said that's on June 9th?
June, what did I say?
7th, I think.
Oh, June 7th. Okay,
Yeah.
so Saturday, June 7th.
Yeah.
So it's coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And do they need to register or just show
No,
up?
you just come on in, and we're going to have food, we're going to have
Okay.
fun, and we're going to show people what we're all about.
Okay.
And you know what's one thing about what we have in the post is we get a chance as veterans to come down and talk to each other. That's pretty much what but we have fun, you know.
Yeah.
But we get a chance to talk to each other and say what happened here and there and what we're doing. And so that's what we're all about.
Yeah, it's great to have that community and the
Yeah.
support. And
I call it our little corner of the world.
yeah,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
on Memorial Day for the service at 1 o'clock,
Oh, yeah.
we're going to have a guest speaker that I'm very, very admired of. She's a retired lieutenant colonel who served with George Bush on 9/11. She was his personal nurse, so she was with him all through 9/11. And she's a very, very articulate woman. I really love listening to her speak and stuff like that. So she'll be our guest speaker this year. Cynthia, it's now Cynthia Hale. She just got married. It was Cynthia Wright.
Okay.
But, and then, you know, like I say, we go through, we'll name each of the members of the Lake Orion area that passed away from Civil War right on up till the last conflict we had. And then we salute them, and we, then that's it for the day for us,
Okay.
about an hour.
And I know usually for that ceremony, right, you have the flag,
Yes.
the very large flag that's over Lapeer Road, and so yeah, it's a great.
And
a
the
great event, so-
displaying and respecting the flag is a little different on Memorial Day.
Yes.
We have some. Yeah.
Can you mention that quickly on how that works? Or we're looking at some footage now on the flag and the ceremony. But I always thought it was interesting of the ceremonial raising of the flag starting at noon
Right.
to full mast. And that's how you do it every morning when you raise the flag, right? It's a slow
It's a slow
procession
process going up.
but we put it up to, so at sunrise we put it up half mast at noon, in the morning, and then from noon it goes all the way up.
Right.
And that's a little different than how we do the flag the rest of the year. Is there a reason, or is it just that this is such a somber special occasion?
Just such a somber special occasion, and it's showing that we're paying the respect to the people that, you know, that fought for that flag. That's why we raise it back up at noon.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I just want to make sure if if everybody, for those interested, and hopefully some after seeing this are interested in coming out and paying their respects and spending Memorial Day with all of us. But starting at 9 a.m. is the memorial observance, which you mentioned is at East Lawn Cemetery, and that's where the wreaths are.
Yep.
Yep, the wreaths are placed.
There's one there that's up there, okay?
Okay.
And then you go over to Children's Park,
Okay. Yep. Then
and
it.
that's where the wreath is thrown into the water.
Okay, and
Yeah.
that's.
That's
so
the
from
Navy
there,
Memorial at
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At
and
10 a.m.
Coast
in
Guard,
Children's Park.
You know,
Okay.
yeah, those folks.
Yeah. And then, but also at 9 a.m. along with that is there's the run walk.
yes, that's
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about the run walk? It says the proceeds support the long-term, the Veterans Memorial, so it's taking care of that. And
yes, and it's in its 9th year, and it's growing every year.
Yeah.
It was actually started by the township and Ginny Body.
Okay.
She is growing it every year, and
Yeah.
people come out and they run 5K, and then they come over to the memorial after. A couple of years we've had a little glitch between them and American Legion because they're playing music and everything, and American Legion's trying to throw the wreath out. But I think we've got that worked
You
out.
got that
now.
all straightened out, yeah. So. all
How
right,
many
so
people
there's-
participate in the run?
You know, I'm not really sure, but I'm going to say about 300, I think she said this year.
Okay.
So it's,
Well, that's a good turnout.
yeah.
That's a good amount.
She pretty much handles all that, and she'll give a update that day at the memorial just before we start service. But I think she says around 300, but
Okay.
don't quote me on it.
Okay.
I know it's on TV now and it's in tape, but
Well, if you're a runner and you're interested in not only running but supporting the Veterans Memorial, you can register right for
Yep.
that. The run begins and ends on Anderson Street, adjacent to Children's Park, so that you'll be near all of the celebrations and festivities that day. And then at 11 a.m. we have the parade that goes through downtown Lake Orion. That I know a lot of people wear, and you're encouraged to wear your red, white, and blue for that as a spectator. Then we have that.
And it's funny because fun because the little kids with their little flags. And their,
Yeah.
That just made when you're going through and you see all the folks there, people are going, yeah, thank you guys, thanks for your service. And then the kids are just yeah.
We have in my neighborhood, the kids usually they've done a bike parade after the parade, and this year they were invited to join the parade, and they go all out decorating their bikes and red, white, and blue, and all the the sparkles and
Oh, yeah.
and everything. So it's nice to see, to get the, like you said, the younger kids involved in appreciating and celebrating as well. So, and then after the parade, then that's when we have the ceremony at 1 o'clock at the Veterans Memorial. And yeah, I definitely want to hear the speaker this year. She sounds phenomenal.
And for anybody that does not realize where it's at Odonna and M24.
Okay.
It's the most, last night at the board meeting, I told the supervisor it's the most beautiful piece of property in the whole township.
It is. It definitely is. I was mentioning, I think a couple weeks ago, we were talking about the memorial, and I have friends that got married there several years ago. More than several now, maybe 5 or 6. But
The Pences.
so yes, the Pences. Yep. So.
I'm
it was
sure we're
beautiful.
putting all this information up on the screen for people, for viewers to follow up with more information. We're running tight on time,
Yep.
but I'd like each of you to just take a few seconds and mention one more thing about coming out and what Memorial Day means to you.
Boy, you got me. I mean, that's all I preach is it's to pay honor to those that passed away in the service during the war, to make sure that every one of us has freedom. I guess that's it. It's. I mean, I've lived in, I was stationed in different countries and that, and I see how the government runs everything, railroads, their transportation, everything is all run by the government, and hospitalization and everything. We're free to choose our own doctors if we want, you know, and stuff like that. So that's why I
true.
think
So-
it's very, very important.
Yeah.
Remembering those who served and didn't make it home.
Right.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add, Steve?
And the folks like my father and that lost friends, good friends in that World War II, and to honor them upon Memorial Day. And that's just pretty much what it is to me.
Yeah.
How when they came home, they were sad, and they were very sad. And for the folks that gave their lives, it was sad, very
Yeah.
sad. But look at where we are. Look what we're doing.
Right.
For
Exactly.
those
Yes. And
Absolutely.
we appreciate you. And if you do want more information about the Legion post, you can also visit their webpage at facebook.com/groups/Lake Orion Legion. So
Yep.
you are on Facebook, can get more information that way. So,
Yep.
well, thank you both for joining us. We appreciate
Thank you for your service as
Thank
well.
you
for
for
your
having
service.
us. This
Yes.
is
Thank you.
What I usually
wonderful.
tell people, Michael, is I did it for you.
Yep.
When they say thank you for your service, I did
Yeah.
it for you.
Yeah.
So everybody can be free.
Well, thank you.
Well, we
Yeah, I-
appreciate it.
I wear my
And
hat
keep reminding us
every
why
day.
you did it, because
Yeah.
it's important.
Every single day I wear my hat. And when I have a bunch of things, all military,
Yeah.
and people do say thank you very much. And just, you know, when I'm in stores and different, and they'll give you a hug sometimes.
Yeah.
It was, it really, and they meant it. They mean it.
Yeah.
And it's very, very nice.
Well, thank you both very much. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
thank you.
I
And
enjoyed this. This
Yeah.
is very nice of you.
and we'll